Hey guys, welcome to Gur Acres. I'm Doug.
And I'm Lori.
And we're the Gurs.
And welcome to our channel. Into a 160-year-old farmhouse in North Java, New York, and we thought that it would be fun to create a YouTube channel so that you guys could watch our journey, see what we're up to here.
We're actually doing eventually a full rehab of it. We're doing a bunch of stuff this year on it, mainly exterior work. The house is old, it's in okay condition, but it definitely needs a lot of work to get it to where we want it to be. But we really loved the layout of the house. It's sitting on 101 acres, which gives us lots of room to do everything we've ever wanted to do.
Lots of room for activities.
Yeah, so much room for activities. We've got 3 dogs and a horse.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 1 horse for now. We'd like to get another as soon as we can get them on our property.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably dabble in some other animals, be that goats or sheep or cows or something.
Highland cows.
But yeah, we will be having animals, we'll be doing renovations. We've got a giant 2-story barn on our property that we'll be fixing up and various other things. So we thought it would be fun to create a channel, document all of that, and bring you guys along for the journey.
We also thought that it would be a good way to look back on memories and how far we've come and everything that we wind up doing here.
Yep. All right, Lori, tell us about yourself.
I am 29 years old. I am a salon owner and hairstylist. I absolutely love what I do. And for fun, I like to go on hikes, spend time with my animals and my husband. Yes, I do. I like to do anything outdoors. So yeah, ATVing on our land, going hiking in the woods, horseback riding. I am very eager to learn how to ride my horse very well. I really do though.
No. I'm 30. I make t-shirts. And I enjoy watching movies and hiking and horses and dogs.
And all the animals in the land.
And food.
So we've been together for 8.5 years. We actually started dating on 12/12/12.
12.
I will never forget it. Best day of my life.
It was the best day of your life.
It was.
So we've been married for about 3.5 years now. This is our second home. We lived in Cheektowaga for a few years.
Mm-hmm. Almost 5 years, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were really sad to leave that house because it was our first house. There was a lot of memories there.
Mm-hmm.
But we also knew that we wanted land. We wanted to get a little bit further into the country. So apparently we moved really far into the country. And now we're 45 minutes away from everything.
Yep.
But we have our 100 acres. We have our old farmhouse.
I still don't think it's quite hit me yet that we are here and have all this land and lots of opportunity here. We've got some pretty good ideas of what we want to do.
It's been tough too because we moved in the second week of January. So it's been snow ever since we moved here. So we've only actually seen our entire property once. We saw a little bit of it when we looked at the house initially, enough of it to know that we wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
And once the week after we moved in, we were able to take a hike through our woods. But yeah, we haven't really had time to explore the property and see it not covered in about 3 feet of snow.
I love the charm of old houses. I always have. I've been very drawn to them. Doug was like, I found this house in North Java and it's got 100 acres. We should go check it out. And I was like, are you out of your mind? 100 acres? What are we gonna do with 100 acres? And he's like, well, let's just go check it out. There's not a lot of pictures of the house online, and you know, it might be something that we're interested in.
It was within our price range.
Yeah.
Obviously, we knew that it was probably gonna need some work, but the land was very attractive to us. Mind you, I didn't even know where North Java was. I'd never even heard of North Java. Based on the pictures, I fully expected us to get here and be like, all right,
yeah,
let's go.
Like, we entertained the idea, let's go look at it and be done with it.
Yeah, so we drove out here and we walked in and we were actually
Walking
like,
around.
oh wow, this is a lot nicer than we thought. Needs a lot of updating, obviously, but overall, like, way better than we were expecting, and we actually really loved the layout of the inside. And then obviously the 101 acres of beautiful hills and views and trees and everything else.
Yeah,
Kind
I
of sold
remember
us.
we were walking up the hill and I was pretty quiet because I think I was a little overwhelmed, but like also realizing, wow, I really like this house and this property. And I remember our realtor was like, I don't think Lori likes it. I was like, oh no, I do. I'm just like, wow, this is like, the view at the time was incredible. I was just like blown away. I was like, I do, trust me, I do. I was just like in shock. So we decided very quickly, all right, let's put in an offer. And then we found out that there was another couple that was also interested, and they were potentially going to put in an offer too. We just both put in offers same day, same time.
This house was on the market for a while, so it was
Yeah.
a little frustrating knowing that it had been on the market for like at least a year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then the second that we put an offer in on it, somebody else was interested in
Yeah.
it. So we ended up actually
Like,
paying a
not
little
again.
bit more than we wanted to or expected to, but still, you know, within reason.
Mm-hmm.
So we found out a couple days later that we got the house, that they chose us. We started the mortgage process, and 4.5 months later, we finally closed. We have contractors that are coming in and doing a bunch of the work. A lot of the interior stuff will be done by us, but we needed contractors to come in and get the exterior and foundation and everything else in pretty good condition before we started messing with the inside of it. So in September is when we found the house, went under contract with the house. 4.5 months go by. We're trying to just get closed on this thing, get moved, we're ready. We started our original closing date was in November, then it was first week of December, second week of December, third week of December. Every week it was pretty much
next week.
Yeah, a new closing date every week. So it was a very frustrating process. But
Almost felt like it wasn't even going to happen at
yeah.
times.
And we were packed up for a long time. We were trying to finish projects on our old house to get ready to sell that. We were under contract with that since October, I think we sold it. October, November, we had that sold. So first week of January rolls around. We know that we're gonna be closing pretty soon. We're getting prepped for that. And Lori starts feeling a little junky.
Mm-hmm.
Then Doug starts feeling a little junky.
Mm-hmm.
Then Doug and Lori go and get a COVID test.
Mm-hmm.
Doug and Lori had a positive COVID test. And about 15 minutes later, we got called that we were cleared to close on the house finally.
Literally 15 minutes later, after we got our results.
4 months of waiting, and 15 minutes before we get cleared to close, we find out we have COVID. So.
And we really didn't have a choice to push closing back any longer because the person that bought our house was already waiting for a really long time to get in there, and we got a letter in the mail from her attorney saying that if we didn't close by whatever date it was, the deal was off.
Which we totally understood because it had been a ridiculous amount of time at this point. Like, it was one thing after another with our mortgage company.
And it wasn't our fault and it wasn't her fault. Right. It was just a really unfortunate circumstance.
So we get why they were frustrated. We were frustrated. We just wanted to move. We were hoping to get in here before there was snow and cold and all that stuff. So bottom line, we both get COVID the week that we find out we're supposed to close. So here comes the next dilemma of figuring out how we're gonna move.
So we immediately just started packing up the rest of our stuff, and we were trying to take it easy as best as we could, but it was really hard because we quickly found out how much we still had left to do, and we had to be out in, I think it was like 5 days that we had to get out of here.
Yeah, so we found out, I believe, on a Wednesday or Thursday, and we had to move that weekend. Our closing date was set for Monday. So luckily we got early occupancy of the new house, so we were able to move our stuff the weekend before we closed on Monday.
There's no way that we could have moved our entire house by ourselves with COVID in one day. So we were really happy that we could have the early occupancy for at least our stuff for a couple days.
Right. And we had to figure out how to get it all here. So that was a whole nother fiasco. We ended up, basically my brother ended up renting a U-Haul for us, dropping it in the driveway. Lori and I spent...
Thank you, Andrew.
Lori and I spent 2-3 days just loading up a 26-foot U-Haul with all of our stuff. And then my brother would come, pick it up, drive it out to the house. We'd meet him out here, unload into the house, turn around and do it all over again. And we weren't terribly sick. We had like a pretty mild case of COVID, but
since we were moving everything by ourselves and in and out of the cold and going up and down stairs and just running around all over the place, that is what really put us over the edge and made us feel worse. So we had to keep stopping and taking a lot of breaks, making sure that we were drinking water and tea and eating food, even though we both couldn't taste anything or smell anything. So that was annoying, but...
And by the end of the weekend, I just hit a point of exhaustion that I don't think I've ever been at.
Yeah, he was in pretty rough shape.
Yeah, it was bad. We were, after 3 days of just moving an entire, 2,500 square feet of crap by ourselves, it was brutal. So, but luckily we got through it. We got in, we did a virtual close on that Monday, and at that point we still had to quarantine for about a week. We took a couple days just to sleep. I think, I'm pretty sure all we did was sleep on the couch for like the next day and a half, 2 days. It was actually kind of nice having the week to settle in, get unpacked, not be in a rush and trying to do it around work and all that stuff. So even though we felt like junk, it was nice to kind of be quarantined and have that extra time to get unpacked and settled in. About 2 days after we moved in, we were sitting on the couch. It was probably, 1 in the afternoon, and there's a knock on the door. I'm like, okay,
who the heck
what's
is
going
here?
on? Mind you, we have COVID, so we're trying to quarantine. We don't want anybody being exposed to us, so I throw my mask on, answer the door, let them know that I have COVID. Come to find out, it is the town supervisor and a scout for Paramount Pictures. And start having a conversation with them, and they are wanting to use our scary 160-year-old farmhouse for a horror film for Paramount Pictures. So it was really funny because we've been joking for months at this point about how our house is scary and looks like a haunted house and is probably haunted and all of these other things. And then literally 2 days after we move in here, we have Paramount Pictures knocking on the door wanting to use our property to film a horror film. So
we were kind of open to the idea.
Yeah, I mean, at that point we were still packed up. They were willing to put us up in another house or hotel or whatever during the filming, and we figured, I mean, if we can make a decent amount of money, why not? We ended up never hearing back from them. We were one of many houses that they went to look at, I think, and I assume they went with somebody else. So it's
probably for the best.
Yes. It would have been a royal pain for us to have moved back out for probably 2 months, especially when we're trying to get the house fixed up. We have contractors coming in April, so it is definitely for the best that it didn't happen, but
and
it would have been really
dogs.
cool. Yes.
We have 3 dogs,
yes.
And I don't know who would have put us up with 3 dogs in a hotel or Airbnb. I don't think that would have worked.
But it's a cool story. It would have been cool if it happened. I'm mostly glad that it didn't, I think. I'm also not sure I want a horror film filmed in my house. But at least it's a good story. Yeah, it's pretty much been one thing after another, which is not unusual for us.
I don't think it's gonna end anytime soon.
No. Yeah, with a 160-year-old house and 100 acres, I think we're gonna continue to have many, many things to go wrong and things to work through, but we're super excited about it. So, that's a little bit about our current situation. A little background on us, a little background on what's going on here on Gur Acres and what our plans are. As we figure out those plans in more detail, we'll continue to share them with you guys and keep you up to date with what we're doing, what animals we're getting, what fun little projects and problems that we have.
So make sure that you subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up if you like this video, leave us a little love in the comments, and what else?
We'll see you in the next one.
We'll see you in the next one. We're all goofy goopers, yeah. Goofy goopers.
That's going in the video.